Hello everyone and welcome to the Limitless experience. This is the first tech podcast that we have on our channel, and we are going to make it a regular feature on the channel. If you love tech, then you have come to the right place, because in this tech podcast what we are going to talk about is the latest tech news, and we are going to give our initial impressions and thoughts on it. If you like the work that we do here at the Limitless experience, please leave us a thumbs up and also leave us a comment about the things about the tech that you want us to talk about in the next podcast. And for now, let's get started with the episode 1. So Zed, we last month we had in the last 2 months we had two Apple events. One was for launching new iPhones that happens everywhere, new iPhones and new Apple Watch, and also we had around 2 weeks ago we had an event of the new MacBook Pros, which had the new Apple Silicon. What were your initial thoughts when you saw those events?
Okay, so I think the first event where we had the iPhone 13 Pros, I think that was the most exciting one, I would say, because it was much awaited for, as especially in relation to that promotion display. Because every flagship today was having the high end specs, only Apple was a bit behind with the promotion display. Everything else was already good on Apple phones, but still. So with the Pro devices, I think now Apple has leveled the game, and I think it stands hand in hand now with all the latest features. So I think the first event was really exciting, and the second event, I would say, I mean, it's a big leap in performance, yeah. I mean, those who are, I mean, like in professional video editing or game designing or such heavy applications, I think this is something that they I mean, they were waiting for. So I think the second event that happened, I mean, I was literally over the moon when I saw the performance gains that they mentioned on the event. I was really excited to actually know how this would actually perform, because until last year, with the M1 also, it was really exciting. But now, like, what can happen more than that? So yeah, it was something really exciting, and I was really looking forward to it. So yeah, that was from my side. What did you think about those events?
About the iPhone and the Apple Watch event, I think the transitions were cool. The transitions, the drone shots, the cinematography that Apple uses, it was it is a very cool thing to look at. I mean, a tech company uh, who can get away with anything. They didn't put chargers in the box last year. They can get away with basically anything. They started they stopped putting the headphone jack on their phones. They can basically get away with anything, but still what they decide to do while doing an online event is to make it as visually pleasing as possible for the viewer, so that
Hmm.
viewer should also get the look of their at least the that UFO wala office Apple one that they call, right? And also the iPhones, I was the most excited about the iPhone 13s, regular iPhone 13s and 13 Pro, because I was going to upgrade this year, and I have an iPhone 13 now. So I was basically going to upgrade. So I was looking forward to the event, and also the features, what they have, the big camera sensors and all these things, the छोटे things of the iPhone,
Hmm.
because it is not a huge upgrade over 12s, but still a छोटा सा battery boost and all these things. I was looking forward to it.
So, but let me ask you one thing here. So, how much? I mean, how much percentage of your expectations were actually met? Like, what is the ratio? I mean, what you expected from the iPhone 13 and what you are really getting now in practical usage. So, what do you think was? I mean, how much of your expectations are actually met?
I haven't, or to be honest, I haven't tested the camera yet.
Oh.
I haven't used the camera as much till now, because it's been only 10 days that the phone got to me, and I started using it. It's been only 10 days, but I haven't used it as much. But the most satisfying thing with the iPhone 13s that I have, because I was using an iPhone 7 first. From the last 4.5 to 5 years, I was using iPhone 7. So the thing is, I had to charge my phone with my daily usage or for around 2 or 3 times a day, and also I had to put it on charging while sleeping also. So it makes the count as a 4. Okay, so I had to charge my phone at least 4 times when even when I am at my home. Okay, and let's not talk about when I travel or I visit certain place that I need to carry a charging brick, not a charging brick, a power bank,
Power
basically a
bank.
power bank. So one of the best things that I am witnessing with my iPhone 13 is that I charge my phone only once,
Nice.
and that too from 20% to 80%, and then it lasts me throughout the day. Okay, so this is the biggest thing that I think that has happened, and it is the best thing, because I don't need to worry about charging anymore. So this is one of the things. And also, from moving from touch ID to face ID, using that with that ease. Although I would say that I am a small phone guy, so I should have purchased the 13 mini, because I like to use my phone one handed. But still I went for 13 because of the battery size and the battery life of the phone. But still I am pretty happy with it, for at least for first 10 days for now.
But actually, they have actually shown the battery percentage also. They have increased in 13 mini as well. So many
Yeah.
people have been asking me on my 12 mini reviews that should we go for the 13 mini, or is 12 mini enough? And I've been telling them that if you can spend extra, go for the 13 mini, because with the 12 mini, the battery percentage is already low. And as we have also seen that couple of months down the line, the battery health also reduces significantly, like
Yeah,
about
yeah.
2% or so. So it's really not worth going for the 12 mini at this age. I would suggest. I mean, 13 mini is the best bet, and they've actually shown good battery improvements there.
Yeah, dude, look out for what you are talking about, because in the latest Flipkart big billion sale, around the iPhone 12s and 12 minis have been flying off the shelves. Around
Right, right.
2.5 lakhs have been sold in those 3 to 4 days. So the demand was there, and also the only thing that they needed to do was to reduce the price. And even one of my friends have got a 12 mini, and he is quite happy with the battery life. That it
Yeah.
all depends on the usage now.
Exactly. And especially if you're at home, then it's not a problem. But when you start traveling, then you really get to see it, because I've also done a day in the life test,
Hmm.
and in the beginning it was really good. Like till the next morning, it was able to go even with 4G data. But after that, the battery health started reducing, and I started losing confidence in it actually. So okay, with the price that it's coming for on Flipkart now, I think it is a really good deal.
Yeah, yeah.
But still, I would suggest go for the 12 regular. I mean, it gives you more confidence with the battery, the camera, and even the screen size. It's more than sufficient. So that's one thing I would suggest.
So your initial thoughts on the Apple Watch Series 7?
Is it even Series 7? I mean, I think it's good to call it 6S or something, because I mean, I don't really see any practical usage for that curvature that they have given.
Hmm.
And on small things they have improved, but I don't see a reason to upgrade or so, even from the SE that I am using currently. I mean, I would have really appreciated if they had put some more health features or so, or even if they have would have increased some accuracy, because with the SE, I have noticed a lot of inaccurate results, and also there have been a lot of issues which I have even spoken to Apple about, but they just told me that they would go for the next releases and nothing can be
Hmm.
done now like that. So I really wish, with practical usage, they have fixed all those minor issues, at least with basic health readings, and also with new features, because the 7 is a flagship Apple Watch. And in flagship series, like last year, the SPO2 feature was added only in the 7, not in the,
Only in the
sorry,
six. Only in the Series 6.
only in the Series 6. I think I'm hung up with 7. So that's what I would need to, I really look forward that flagship watches should have some, at least one extra feature should have been there. But there are no major improvements to look for. So unless you're coming from a really old Series 3 or something, then I think 7 is a good thing. But
Yeah, yeah.
but if you're on the SE or on the Series 5 or even 6, then not at all recommended, I would say.
What Apple did was it improvised. Why? Because according to the leaks and rumors, we were going to get the squared off edges wala Apple Watch, but it had some production issues. It had some issues with the production line because the each and everything about the production line had to be changed, and the watch was not ready. So what they did was they improvised, and they improvised like crazy, because they just what they did, they just increase the size of the glass and made it more curved around the edges, so that the display can sort of 2.5D fall off from the from the edges, and they just increase the sizes by 1 millimeter. And I think this was one of the greatest improvisations that has happened in the tech industry yet, because when they announced during the Apple event that they didn't tell us the release date or when it will be available. They just gave this features and prices, just that. And after that, around after 2 or 3 months, the orders case started, the pre-orders started rolling in, and then after a week or so, people have started getting their Series 7. So I think that was improvised, but still, if see, I have an SE and you also have an Apple Watch SE, so I don't think that people having a Series 5, 6 or an SE should go for a Series 7. Am I right?
Right. And what do you think is the practical usage of that curvature?
I don't know. Maybe
Because curved screens in even flagship phones are they're just for the premium feel. I mean, they don't actually, only some phones from Xiaomi, I guess they were having something on the edge, but not many got released in the real world.
I think the Apple's thought process behind increasing that curvature from 2D glass to 2.5D glass is to distinguish it from a Series 6 and the Series 7. To make that, we can just look at the watch a person is wearing on his hand, and see that's a Series 6 on, and that's a Series 7, because the colors also have been changed, and the color and the majority of the colors, the red one and I think the blue one, they have muted the colors.
So that's what the consumers should pay for for differentiation.
Yeah, exactly. What do people do while purchasing an iPhone? They put on a case, and that has a rounded wala opening around the Apple logo, so that they get to show the Apple logo. So this is what Apple is banking upon. This is what Apple is using to their advantage, so that people get to show what they have purchased.
Right. And I think still with the thought process that you are mentioning, I think they would sell crazy. Like,
Yeah.
because people want that, and they want the premium feel. Because I think the people who are spending in that price range do want that premium feel. I mean, they are more concerned about that premium feel rather than the features or the performance even. So I think that is going to click for the
And
consumer.
also, Series 7 comes with one of the biggest feature, that it charges 33% faster. In the day and age when no one has time, an Apple Watch charging 33% faster is a really good thing, and it is a very big advantage over the Series 6, I would say.
Right.
So coming to M1 Pro and M1 Max MacBook Pros, I don't think that they have put so much of thought in naming these chips, because M1 Pro till M1 Pro is okay, but having named the flagship, the biggest, the baddest chip as M1 Max, because it is sort of a tongue twister.
I actually googled this. Which one is the better one? Is it the Max or the Pro? Because with iPhones, you have the Pro lineup first and then the Max. I think that is the way they even name this. Like Pro comes first and then the Pro Max comes. Probably this could be there.
Yeah. But I think some more thought should have been should have been put from the Apple side to name these chips, because everyone was thinking that it would be named as M1X or M1Z, given the iPad line of chips that we had, A10X and then A12 Bionic Z and all these things. So I thought the same, but the features that they come with, the those MacBook Pros come with, because given the extra GPU cores, 16 GPU cores and 32 GPU cores on the M1 Max, what were your initial thoughts on that event and on those two laptops?
Uh, like I said in the beginning of this video, that I was really excited with the performance gains that they are giving, because even for professionals especially, this would be a huge boost. But looking at the price range, especially in India, I feel like it won't click with most people. Like only with those professionals who are carrying their laptop for their daily workflow. I think for them this will be a huge upgrade, and also kind of worth it. Not that worth it with the price range, but still for the average consumer, I think M1 is still more than enough, I would say. So I really think that this is just only for those professionals, and not really for the majority of the consumers.
So I think the people and the demographic that Apple is targeting all over the world, I think if a laptop, if a notebook, if a MacBook is affordable enough, then each and everyone will look forward to purchase it. Okay, but if as we have this state in India, that we have to pay taxes. If I have to pay 2 lakh rupees for the base model MacBook Pro, 14-inch MacBook Pro, which doesn't even have 10 core CPU and 14 and 16 core GPU. It has an 8 core CPU and a 14 core GPU. It has two cores for each less. So I don't think that I would pay 2 lakh rupees, for around 1,95,000 to be precise. I would pay that much amount to get a laptop which was not even advertised by Apple as the base model.
And I think it all depends on the returns that you're getting, right? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
if it's a huge business that has this, they have regular projects which such high returns, then it's justified for them to invest in this. But if you don't have regular projects, then I think you can, because see, the M1 also does everything. It's just
Yes.
that the times are more. Like if you're in video editing, the rendering times are more, and if you're doing 8K video editing or heavy designing or photo editing stuff, then there might be some lags, some occasional lags, but not, it's not a big difference, if you don't have regular projects with high value.
Yeah, and I think the M1 only lags behind the because of the GPU. It doesn't have though as much as GPU cores that M1 Pro or M1 Max have, and the only department that M1 lags behind the other Intel chips as well is the GPU one. Because in
Hmm.
CPU, if we look at the benchmarks, or if you look at, if we check out the reviews also, and also the battery life, it has been great. And M1 Air, M1 MacBook Air, I think it has been selling good. M1 MacBook Pro as well, it has been selling. It has been selling good. We'll have to wait and see what M1 Pro and M1 Pro and M1 Max chips have us to offer. These things, these are not cheap. Not neither in
Exactly.
USA nor in India. These are not cheap. These are not cheap machine. And only ones who should get get these laptops are the professional ones, who first of all, who can afford it, and also if they purchase a laptop, a 2 lakh rupees laptop in India, and if it is not providing any value to what they do on the day to day basis, I think then it is a waste of money.
Exactly. And what do you think about the performance degradation over the years? Because as now this entire architecture with RAM, with GPUs, everything is tightly coupled.
Yeah.
And with the performance gains, I mean, it does all heavy processing too. So I think the performance degradation would be a little faster than other chips, because previously, even before M1, when we could easily replace RAM or easily replace the graphics cards, so that was something that
We could easily replace CPU as well.
CPU as well, exactly. So those people or professionals also who are using their workspace for years and years, I mean, they could easily get away with the same infrastructure, but just upgrading some stuff
Yeah,
or
yeah.
something. But with this tightly coupled system, but with the M1 it was still okay. But with the M1 Max, with the heavy performance that it does, I think that would cause a bit wear and tear with its entire infrastructure and chip.
Yeah, if one of the things gets broken, if there's a slight malfunction or or something like that, the cost of repairing would be like immense. You would be it would be better for you to purchase another laptop than get this thing repaired, because the repairability in India, at least for Apple devices, it's like, I mean, I don't want to pay around 25 to 30,000 rupees for just to get my lightning port replaced.
Change.
I don't
Right.
want to pay that much money. I don't want to pay around 30,000 rupees to get my iPhone 13's glass back replaced. No one wants to do that. In India, the repairs are really costly, and if at all any things get broken, then God help you then.
And they also have a lot of like for iPhones, they have a lot of carrier plans with T-Mobile, I guess. I mean, it really justifies the monthly cost that they spend on their product. But in India, we only have EMIs and stuff, and we don't have such we have high cost that we always have to give for it, and then we have to just pay more and more for repairs and for to keep it up to date.
There was a study when the iPhone 13 launched, that an average Indian has to work around 700 hours to afford an iPhone 13. And now we are talking about the MacBook Pros, the new M1 Pro and M1 Max MacBook Pros. I don't know if I am an average Indian, then I'll ever be able to afford it. I am not sure about that, man.
Let's do what every other Indian does. Wait for a year or so for the price to drop and then buy.
And now, after around 1.5 years of getting launched, I am now planning to get an M1 Air.
Hmm.
Now, after putting on discounts, after having student discount, after getting those free AirPods wala gimmick, I am thinking of purchasing it next year, maybe.
So that's what we all do here. I think that's a good standard because even from the comments that I'm getting, I've observed that 1 year later of making those videos, those videos get a boost in
Hmm.
views and also comments. People, because 1 year later the price drops and people really want to buy it, so they start watching reviews and stuff and start inquiring about it. So that's how it goes for flagship phones in India.
Yeah, yeah. Speaking of flagship phones, when we talk about flagship phones in India, we only talk about Samsungs and Apples of the world. Okay,
Hmm.
no one really, at least in India, no one really talks about Google Pixel. And now we just had a Pixel 6 event, Pixel 6 and Pixel 6 Pro got launched. What were your initial thoughts on those phones?
My first question was, is it coming to India? Because
Is it?
it is not. It is not. It is not. If you go on Google website and check the country availability there is a section there. India is not mentioned still for the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. So not sure if it will come later, and of course it will be there in the offline selling, and unofficial selling would still be there. Because we have Pixel 4, 3A, 5A, everything on Amazon we get from other sellers,
Yeah,
but it's still not official. And when it's not official, then it doesn't there is a certain kind of feel that is not there because
yeah, yeah,
it's not officially supported for us in India. So just buying that offline and unofficially does not make sense. So that was the first question in my head: is it coming to India? But the other upgrades that I saw, and finally Google agreed to go for hardware upgrades.
yeah, yeah,
So this is something that was really exciting, and I think it's a good thing because software is a major thing, but hardware complements it really. I mean, it should complement it. And till now, they were using their old hardware only. Like, I mean, ultra wide camera or a zoom camera. They were just circling around that. But now they actually went full fledged, given an ultra wide, a zoom camera, telephoto lens also. 4x telephoto lens, and also that 50 megapixel sensor. So megapixel thing, I mean, they are adapting it to it now. Even iPhone hasn't done that yet. So that is a good thing that they are going ahead, because they can really leverage all those hardware capabilities, So software is really good, but they can really leverage those hardware capabilities. And I think this really means a good point for the future of Pixel phones. So even if a Pixel 6a gets released, and if it comes to India, then I think it would be a great sell and a great deal also.
Which was the last Pixel phone? Which was the last official Pixel phone that had come to India?
I think it was a 3A.
3A. So we are talking about around 3 years back.
3 years back. Because with the 4, they had the, what was that, Solly radar chips,
Yeah, in 4.
which
Yeah.
were not allowed in India as per the regulations. So from there, they just give that an excuse and stopped giving the Pixel 4, 4A, even 5 is also there. But they really stopped putting it in India officially. But I do see it unofficially, and I think the Pixel 4A is selling like crazy on Flipkart with 25,000 price range.
Pixel 4 is on
So
sale in India.
Pixel 4 is in sale in India and on Flipkart, and it's for 25,000. And I've been seeing a lot of reviews from Indians, and it's amazing. I mean, they are really, it has only a single camera again, but still they are impressed with it.
Yeah, the amount of work, because you have been a Pixel user. You had a
I
Pixel 2
still
XL.
have the
Yeah.
Pixel 2 XL.
Yeah, so I knew for the fact that Pixels are a very good phone when it comes to camera, when it comes to software, at least, because it comes with stock Android, and it has a good image processing. It had the best photographic camera in the world at some point of time, and now it still has, and Google has also grown a lot. They have learned a lot with their past mistakes and past experiences. And also the new Pixel 6 and 6 Pro comes with the tensor chip.
Right.
It is a Google made. First thing, it is a Google Silicon, and it has been designed to work best with Pixel phones. So what we are expecting here in India, at least we should get a tensor chip wale 6A phones, because I think Pixel 6 having in India, those the A series phone won't be the flagship phones. They will be mid-range smartphones, and mid-range smartphone market is great in India.
It is amazing. It's the
It is
only top
amazing.
post market.
If we talk about flagships, if let's imagine that 6 and 6 Pros comes to India, and what will be your thoughts of, will you buy that phone?
uh, of course, I would. Because it would be really exciting to compare that with the latest iPhones. And even now, I am clearly keeping a watch on all the comparisons that they have with the iPhone 13 Pros and the Pixel 6 Pro, because that is something that is really exciting. And also, one thing that really impressed me regarding Google is that the high adaptability that they have, like this is like a milestone for them with their tensor chips, but
Yeah,
still
yeah.
they did not hold back on anything. They gave us new hardware. They gave us high refresh rate is there on both the phones, at least. They gave us all the new features in both the phones with great big screens. Curvature is also there on the 6 Pro, and that new camera visor that they have, a new design. So they did not really hold back, because if this was Apple, I mean, if they were launching something new, they might have been a bit restrictive with it, and in the next iteration they would have put everything. But Google, in the first iteration itself, they went ahead with everything. And this is really exciting to see, because even if the Pixel 6 and 6 Pro do not prove to be perfect, the next iteration, the 7, would be, because now they know what are the shortcomings of their new tensor chip and what is something that they need to optimize, so they would know it better. So I think this is a good thing that they did not waste a year or so and just went ahead with all the features. And with Tensor, yeah, this is a really good thing, because even with Samsung with their Exynos chips, and even with Apple is the best example for this. The optimizations that they can do, I mean, it can really reach to heights. With the Google Assistant and everything, I think they can really optimize it well, and it can be more futuristic in the day-to-day usage than any other phone, I would say.
You talked about restricting a few features for the next iteration. And I was really hoping when Apple announced on the stage that the 13 Pros would have ProMotion display, and the refresh rate would vary from 10 hertz to 120 hertz. I was actually somewhere in my mind that clicked that why didn't the regular 13 and the 13 minute didn't have 90 hertz display, at least a 90 hertz display.
Exactly. Yes.
We have been stuck with 60 hertz display since the day of launch, and I think it was due time that Apple should have done that, and I think Apple will do that with iPhone 13 or 14 at least. I am really hopeful for that.
Yes. But with 13, they still have that limitation, and I don't understand the price range that it comes with. It does not have a high refresh rate display. I mean, of course, this is not something that is a need, but it's something that every other phone has. Even a phone for 10,000 also has a 90 hertz LCD display, okay, whatever it is, but it still has a high refresh rate display.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that is something that is basic nowadays, and that they should have gone for it. So that also disappointed me, and that's why, if you ask me this year, then I am really not even excited about the 13 or 13 mini. The pros are the best bet, I would say. Like, they have something to offer at least.
But if we compare the regular 13 and the 13 Pro, they are basically the same size, just the difference in the hardware. They are basically the same size. If we watch a few reviews, other tech reviewers, which are who are not based in India, so what they would suggest is, if you are trying to go for regular 13, just spend extra $200 and go for 13 Pro. Okay, it is that easy in the in other countries, but here in India, if we are planning to buy a 13, and if we want to upgrade it to a 13 Pro, upgrade our phones to 13 Pro, we would have to pay an extra 40,000 rupees. So because the gap is huge in terms of money. So it is not the same case, and most of the people are settling for 13 uh, because
Just
of
because, right.
because of this. Yeah, so I think that has been the case. And also Indians have that mindset while buying a flagship smartphone, that the flagship smartphone that they are buying should be the latest and the greatest. Otherwise they wouldn't offer it unless it has a lesser price than its predecessor.
Again, wait for the next year for prices to drop.
That's why 12 flew off the shelf as soon as the prices reduced. And also with the exchange and all these things, the you would be able to buy a 12 mini at as low as 33,000 rupees. If you are opting for a smartphone exchange and all these things, you will get a 12 mini 128 GB at 33,000.
Right. Last year, the iPhone 10R was at this price, and now the 12 mini is.
So, okay, so Zaid, what according to you are the things that an Indian should consider, okay, while getting a new smartphone? Because you have been using many smartphone. You have used a Pixel, you have used a Samsung Galaxy flagship phone, and now you are using an iPhone 12. So, what are the things that you need to consider as an Indian?
So, in a flagship phone or in a mid-range?
Let's talk about flagship phones.
Okay. So the first thing I would say is, because see, the technology with other phones also that is there now, I think there are very few differences that are there in flagship phones. So the first thing that I can think of is the camera performance, and that is when it comes to low light performance, basically low light performance and the consistency of photos or videos, whatever you take. So they always have that consistent performance, and I think low light performance is the only difference that you should look for, because that is something that you would spend that much for, right? Because if you're taking a lot of photos or videos indoors, or if you go out to parties or stuff, there low light photos and videos would really I mean, that would really shine there with those flagship cameras. So I think first is the thing that people can look for is low light photography or videography. And the other thing is, of course, performance. Because till today, I see that 50% people, around 50% of people who buy flagship phones buy it so that they can use for at least 3 to 4 years down the line.
Yes, correct.
And with other phones, there is a significant performance degradation. So I think that they should look for this performance factor also. That if they're buying a flagship phone, then it should at least last them for about 3 to 4 years minimum. But there are also 50% of people who upgrade every year, even with flagship phones. And I think for them, nothing actually matters to say.
Are you one of them? Are you one of those 50% people?
No, I'm the former group.
No, even I have used my iPhone 7 for around 4.5 years now, because in 2016 iPhone 7 came out and I had purchased it in 2017. So yeah, in April of 2017 I got my iPhone 7, and in October of 2021 I had finally changed my smartphone after thinking about it, after after years of planning that I would buy this phone. I would okay, let's buy the next year's flagship phone. Okay, I have finally come to the conclusion that I needed to upgrade because the battery life it has degraded so much. My battery was running at 73% efficiency. My iPhone 7 had been a very good friend of mine, because I had used it in so many ways, because I had
This is a
used
farewell speech.
sort of, because I had used it for many things, for vlogging, for shooting, for recording the podcast and all these things, and it had lasted me quite a long time. And I hope the 13 is also the upgrade of the same sorts.
So these 2 points that I mentioned, low light performance and also the overall performance of the phone. And the next thing you can look for is the serviceability. Like, how easy it is to get serviced or repaired. Because with Apple and Samsung, it is still better. But if you're spending a lot, I mean, with Xiaomi also it's okay. But recently I just went over a phone, the Xiaomi Mi 11 Ultra. So it is for 75,000 or so in India. And if so, even Xiaomi has good serviceability in India. But if you're buying a phone with such a high price, and when you run into some issues and there is no one to look at it, so then that is a big bummer. So that is also something you should look for in a flagship phone. But apart from all this, I think there is not much difference now. Even mid-range phones are really catching up really good. I mean, I would say.
Do people actually buy a flagship smartphone apart from Apple and Samsung?
They do. Probably not much in India, but in other countries they do a lot. Especially Xiaomi is leading in other countries, some of the countries.
Let's talk about India. Let's talk about India. If a person is considering buying a flagship smartphone that is more than, say, around 60,000 rupees. Okay, so will they consider? Okay, I can agree that people consider buying an Apple iPhone or a Samsung Galaxy device, or a OnePlus device also. Okay, but I didn't know that people actually go for a 75,000 wala Xiaomi phone, or
Right, and that is why it kind of failed in India, because nobody turns their head towards that Mi 11 Ultra, especially when they look at the price range that is 75,000. So it did not click well in India, but still it is there. So that's what I'm telling, that don't get confused.
okay.
And do not go for this. If any other phone launches, and if any other company launches for this price range, then do look at the serviceability also, and the overall performance of it a couple of years down the line. And I have also seen lot many people, and especially I was not open to this at the beginning. Many people are also buying the Galaxy Z Flip, the Galaxy Z Fold in India. I am seeing a lot of people using it too, and I was surprised because it's a different kind of design, and would not really go with many people, especially in its first couple of iterations. A couple of years down the line, it might get something that is a normal thing, so people would start using it. But now also I'm seeing that people do go ahead and spend that, like it is about for 1.5 lakhs, I guess, the Z Flip and the Z Fold. Yeah,
Z Flip 3 is, I guess, around 85,000 rupees, and the Fold is around 1.5 lakhs. Yeah.
yes. So people are still using that, and I was surprised that okay, so they are so open to this new design, this new folding phones, and they are also fragile, at this stage, these phones. they are improving it year by year. They are making it more tough, but still spending so much money and such a fragile phone
No,
in your hands.
I think Samsung Galaxy, at least for foldables, they have improved a lot. If we compare it with the first iterations, because the first iterations had its own problem because of the dust getting inside the.
The screens were getting cracked because of the folding thing.
So they have come a long way, I think, but there is still room for improvement. And as long as Samsung is the only company in the market for smartphones, for foldable smartphones, then I think the rate at which Samsung would upgrade its phone or upgrade its technology in those phones would be a slow one, because as soon as the competition arrives in that very price segment, in that very foldable segment, I think Samsung will just buckle up and churn out more and more folding smartphones, and also of good quality, of better quality maybe.
Right. But what do you think about this? I mean, if you're getting a foldable phone at a discounted range, would you buy it?
I would like to give it a try.
In day-to-day usage, I mean, it does not have the aspect ratio also that is, with respect to movies or YouTube videos.
Yeah, well, see, but there are a trade-off. There are trade-offs if we are moving to a newer technology. Then there are trade-offs, because these new technologies are still in their infancy, and they are still slowly and steadily improving. So I would like to give Flip a try. I'm not sure about the Z Fold 3, but I would surely give a Flip.
Sure, let's go check it out together. It's been nice talking about all these things that are really trending now. I mean, especially in the uh, especially in the tech world, the M1 Max Pro are at the top, you can say. So everyone's talking about it, and I think this is a really interesting topic to talk about now. And it's been really fun, doing this kind of a banter.
Yeah, even I haven't got hold of the names. I still haven't got a hold of the names, because M1 Pro and M1 Max, it sounds unnatural for me still. Maybe after getting one, I won't be having such issues with at least pronouncing the name. But who knows? We look forward to tech. Huh? We look forward to tech upgrading and improving itself.
Yes, that would be something to really look forward to. I mean, I would really love to see our videos. I would really like to see our videos render on that M1 Max.
Yeah, sure,
We can
man.
just go and try on a store, I guess. Just transfer some videos there. We can't buy, but you want to see.
We will buy, na? Someday we will buy, and we'll
Someday.
review it. We'll talk about it. We'll test it maybe.
Right. On Flipkart Big Billion Days sale.
Yeah. After 3 to 4 years, when we will get it as cheap as 60,000 rupees maybe.
With card discounts.
Yeah,
With card discounts
with
and
card
stuff.
discount, with exchange, with all these things, maybe one day we'll be able to afford it. So thank you, Zaid, for being a part of this podcast, and we
Thank you
we
for
will
having
do
me.
this regularly. We will do this podcast after every 15 days, and so that we, as individuals, as friends, as YouTubers, as podcasters, and also as friends, stay in touch with each other, and also read about tech, so that we can give you guys more content.
Sure. And subscribe to the Limitless Experience. And you also have a Spotify channel,
Yes,
right?
I have a Spotify channel, so you can check that out. The link will be below the like button, and also I'll leave the link for Zest channel also below in the description.